The boy who prayed for shoes. Snowflakes swirled in the icy wind as a young boy stood shivering outside a brightly lit shoe store. His small, bare feet were red from the cold, and his tattered clothes barely shielded him from the harsh winter. Yet, despite the chill biting into his skin, his eyes remained fixed on the display in the window. A pair of sturdy brown shoes, warm and new, nothing like the worn-out soles clinging to his frostbitten toes. His lips moved silently. He wasn't just staring, he was praying. "Dear God, if you're listening, please just a pair of shoes. That's all I need. Just something to keep my feet warm." A well-dressed woman, carrying shopping bags, slowed as she passed by. Something about the boy, his trembling frame, his hopeful eyes, his quiet whispers, touched her heart. She turned back and gently placed a hand on his shoulder. "Hey there, little guy. What are you looking at so closely in that window?" Startled, the boy looked up at her with wide, innocent eyes. His voice was soft, almost hesitant. "I was just asking God to give me a pair of shoes," he admitted, as if embarrassed by his own hope. The woman felt her heart squeeze. Without hesitation, she took his cold little hand in hers. "Come with me." She led him inside the store, where warmth wrapped around them like a comforting embrace. The boy's eyes darted around, unsure, afraid that someone might tell him he didn't belong there, but the woman smiled at him reassuringly. Turning to the store clerk, she said, "Please bring me a basin of warm water, a towel, a few pairs of thick socks, and the best shoes you have in his size." The clerk, surprised but moved, hurried away. The woman knelt before the boy and gently lifted his frozen feet into the basin when it arrived. The warmth sent a shiver through him, and he let out a small gasp. "That feels nice," he whispered. The woman chuckled. "Cold feet don't belong on kind souls." She washed his feet carefully, wiping away the dirt and frost. Then, she dried them, slipped on a thick pair of woolen socks, and took the shoes from the clerk. They were perfect, sturdy, warm, and just the right fit. As she laced them up, she glanced up at the boy's face. His eyes glistened, his lips trembled, but this time, it wasn't from the cold. It was something deeper, something he didn't have words for. When she finished, she patted his head with a warm smile. "Now you must feel much better, little friend." The boy stared at her, his heart full in a way he had never felt before. He hesitated, then suddenly ran after her as she turned to leave. He grabbed her hand, looked up at her with tear-filled eyes, and asked, "Are you the wife of God?" The woman knelt once more, brushing a stray tear from his cheek. She smiled, her own eyes misty. "No, sweetheart," she said gently. "I'm just a grateful person sharing what God has given me." For the first time in a long while, the boy felt something warmer than any shoe could offer. Love, kindness, and the reminder that prayers, even the smallest ones, are always heard. And that day, somewhere above, God surely smiled.